Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Evil Sasha. Today I'm making a really special video because today is the Summer International Lolita Day. Twice a year, once in the summer and once in the winter, Lolitas all over the world get dressed in their best frills to celebrate this day. Lolita fashion is actually street fashion, which means that it's meant to be worn daily or casually, and not only for special occasions or conventions or something like that. It's not meant to be a costume, but every once in a while we like to make special occasions for ourselves and get together and celebrate our communities and our love for this fashion. So today I wanted to make a video that actually many Lolitas have done before, and it's kind of an old idea, but I really wanted to do it because I've watched many of these videos when I was getting into the fashion, and I found it really fun and interesting and actually informative. So I thought that I really wanted to make one myself someday, and I thought that today would be the perfect occasion for it. It is called the Lolita tag. It is a list of 13 questions that are meant to help me tell more about myself and about my fashion journey. I have them written right here, so let's jump into them. Question 1. Since when do you wear Lolita? But before I started wearing the fashion, I actually wanted to do my best researching it, so I spent about a month watching YouTube videos and reading blogs and different articles that I could find about the style and what makes it the way it is. So I started buying my first pieces in December 2016, and the first time I wear Lolita out in public was December 31st, 2016. It's really silly coordinate. I wouldn't even call it that. It was just a dress and a bunch of normie clothes, but I was really excited and happy, and I felt really special and festive, and that's how it started. How did you first come across Lolita? I've actually known it for quite a few years because I've been in the cosplay and anime scene for a really long time, since at least 2004. That's when I started actively participating in the local communities and hanging out with other fans of anime and cosplay. And of course there are many references of Lolita in different Japanese media. And as soon as anime conventions started in my country in 2006, I was part of them every year. And very quickly, among cosplayers, people started appearing who wore this unusual fashion. And of course, in the old days, it didn't look that great. And a lot of people didn't really research it very well before they started wearing it. So I can't say that I was a big fan of it when I first saw people wearing it at these conventions, I have to admit. So it took me a while to kind of get around and start liking it, but I'm madly in love with it now, so look at me. What inspired you to wear Lolita? So I've actually been interested in this fashion for quite a few years. I've started learning about it from YouTube videos and just finding different types of content featuring Lolitas, like parodies and music videos and short films, and I just started seeing it from different sides, and not only the same old thing like cat-made black dresses with badly made aprons. I started realizing that it's actually a really beautiful and wonderful and detailed fashion that's like a kaleidoscope, and there isn't one single style of it, but it's very diverse. And actually the turning point for me in late 2016 that inspired me to start wearing it was I kind of got addicted to Lovely Lore's videos. I think between November and December 2016 I watched all of her videos on her channel, and I found it really educational but also inspiring that she didn't only wear it to conventions or to fashion shows or to photo shoots, that it was an actual daily fashion that she wore just whenever she wanted. And I realized slowly that I wanted to do it myself, so that's how I decided to get into it. How did you start? So like I just said, I started by watching a ton of YouTube videos and reading blogs, and I joined the Lolita Amino on the Amino apps and just started talking to people and educating myself, and seeing what I would like and what I would want to wear myself. At first, when I started, I was convinced that I was going to be a classic Lolita. I was in love with dark, solid pieces and florals and very kind of traditional, moderate styles. But yeah, now I like really bright prints and bright styles, and I want to try every style: gothic, classic, of course old school, and a lot of sweet. But yes, when I first started, I was determined that my favorite brand was going to be Innocent World, and I was going to wear only dark, solid pieces. And it's funny to look back on it now because my style has drastically changed since then. What was your first item? Actually, this is a funny one because I don't have a single first item. The very first Lolita item that I ordered was an Innocent World dress that I got in their 2016 winter sale. But because it was a sale and they were receiving a lot of orders, they took a really, really long time to process all of the orders and send out the invoices. So it took me quite a long time before I received it. So before it arrived, I had already managed to place an order with Closet Child and purchase 2 more dresses. One of them was from Ink Rouge, which is not really a Lolita brand, but I think it's really nice for more casual and simple wear, and I really love that dress. And the other one was from Baby the Stars Shine Bright, and I still love those dresses very much. And I can't really decide myself which one of them I would consider my proper first Lolita item, because it's either the Innocent World OP or these 2 dresses. So I'm not really sure. When did you go to your first meetup? So I joined my local Lolita community in early 2017. I found their group on social media and joined it, and sent them all friend requests and started chatting with them. And then in February, I think it was February 19th, we had a Valentine's meetup, and that was my first ever meetup, and we had a really good time. I actually made a video about that, and I'll link it somewhere, hopefully. I'll figure out how to do that, so you can go ahead and watch that, my actual first ever meetup. And it was really fun, and I was really glad to meet everyone, and I had a really good time. What is your favorite style and why? Oof, this is by far the most difficult question for me, because I don't have one single style preference. There are styles that I like more than others, but I can't say that I will be able to settle on one single style anytime soon. I'm not sure if I would actually call it a style, but I really like casual Lolita. I like to dress casually or in really kind of dressed down simple coordinates, because I like to wear Lolita when I'm just going out to run some errands or do some shopping or just be on my feet a lot and do a bunch of stuff. And it's not always convenient to do that while wearing tons of accessories and uncomfortable shoes and things like that. So I really enjoy a style like that. But I also like a style that some people refer to as sort of mature sweet. I really like sweet Lolita, but I think I look horrible in pastels and they don't suit me at all, and I just don't feel comfortable wearing them. So I really avoid the sweet, sugary pastel side of it, but I really, really like sweet prints on darker or jewel-toned backgrounds, such as the one I'm wearing right now. Yeah, that's kind of my style. I like it sort of quirky and eclectic and honestly all over the place. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Who's your favorite brand and why? If I have to name one, probably my favorite brand forever will be Mary Magdalene. It's the first brand I came across before I even knew that Lolita fashion was a thing, that it was a style and it has a name. I just saw, when everyone was on Tumblr, I just saw these pictures of beautiful, wonderful dresses reposted by other people, and I saw that they were from a brand called Mary Magdalene, and I thought that they were just beyond terribly expensive designer items that I would never be able to own. And if I just had to name one, I would definitely say Mary Magdalene, even though it doesn't really function anymore. And sadly, from my experience with it, I can't really wear most of the releases because they were meant for really, really petite people. But I will always, I think, admire it and just stare at it in awe at all of the dresses worn by other people, and the few pieces that I still have and that I wear, I think I'm going to treasure them for a really, really long time. But in addition to that, in terms of actually a brand that I really like wearing and seeing on myself, and I feel really comfortable in it, and I think the things that it releases are quite diverse, that there are some that are more kind of sweet and dressed up and some that are more casual and toned down, that will have to be Angelic Pretty. I think if I would presented with a choice to wear only one brand for the rest of my life and never wear any other brands, I would definitely choose Angelic Pretty. What is your favorite dress and why? Actually, fun fact, my favorite dress I am wearing right now. It is Angelic Pretty's Princess Cat in green. When I saw it in 2016, when I first started really digging deep into my Lolita fashion research, I just fell in love with it and I couldn't stop thinking about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I could go as far as to say that this is the dress that got me into the fashion. I just kept looking at it and realized that I really want it, and not just to like have it and put it in my wardrobe and keep it, but I really wanted to wear it and I wanted to wear other things like it. So I hunted it down and I was fortunate enough to get a set with the accessories. I'm in love with it. It's wonderful. I wear it a lot. It's really, really comfortable, and I'm always so happy when I wear it, and it's definitely my favorite piece. And I think even if something happens somewhere in the future that will cause me to leave the style and stop wearing it, I think I'm still going to keep this dress just as a memento, and I'm gonna love it always. When it was still on my wish list before I bought it, and I would just gush about it to all my friends and show them a stock image on my phone and just squeal and complain how I can't find it and I really, really want it, I used to say that if I was a dress, then this would be me as a dress. What do your friends and family think about you wearing Lolita? Fortunately for me, most of my friends come from the same anime and cosplay culture that I come from, so they're accustomed to people dressing weirdly or having weird hobbies. So I wasn't really faced with a lot of disapproval or a lack of acceptance from my friends. Most of them were actually really supportive and tell me that the style really suits me, and I'm really appreciative of that and really grateful. And as for my family, most of my siblings and relatives think that it's just another quirky thing that I do, just as cosplay and everything else. And I'm really happy to say that my mom loves it. She's really, really supportive of it, and she only worries sometimes that I may be spending too much money on it, so she kind of tries to warn me and remind me that it's important to not overspend. But other than that, she's really positive about it, and whenever we hang out, she asks me if I've bought any new things recently, if she'll be seeing me in some new dresses, and it's really fun and I love it. Think of something you wouldn't have experienced if you weren't a Lolita. So I'm gonna get real for a second and get sort of into deep, serious territory, but all my life, because I've had since early childhood very visible disabilities and deformities, I've struggled with self-esteem and self-acceptance because of the way I looked. I always thought that I was always one step behind or one step below everybody else because I was so visibly and obviously damaged, and it's always affected the way I perceived myself and the way I treated the way I looked. Even when I thought that I'd put effort into the way I looked, into my clothes, into accessories and things like that, I still felt like nobody will ever find me pretty or attractive or beautiful because objectively I have certain features that make me not that and never will, just based on the norm of what society finds attractive. So I thought that it's not worth for me to bother putting too much effort into my appearance or getting really dressed up. Simply put, I thought that I was not pretty enough for that, and only pretty people should do that. Something like that. So the moment when I allowed myself to stop caring about that and simply try it, I found that the style made me feel so good about myself. And it's something that I do for myself exclusively, and I love it so much. And of course it feels nice when you post a picture online and it gets a bunch of likes, or your friends compliment your appearance or something like that. Sure, we all still need that validation from the people that surround us, but of all the things, of all the hobbies and interests and everything I've ever done in my entire life, this has been the thing that was the most me. The most thing that I do for myself because I like it and because it makes me feel really happy and good and nice about myself in my own skin. And I know that people are going to stare, people are going to laugh and point and try to take sneaky photos of me, but throughout my entire life they've done that anyways, because I've always stood out. And this time I feel like at least let them stare at the clothes and they will make less of a deal about my face. And so let them knock themselves out. But for me, I just feel amazing wearing it. And the fact that there's a whole community attached to it, where I've met some wonderful, amazing, friendly, supportive people from all over the world, and I'm so grateful for them, and they're my amazing friends. I wouldn't have had that if I hadn't given myself the chance to try and experience it. And I know that it's just a weird, hyper feminine, really strict and strange fashion that most people find weird or questionable or silly, but for me it's something that makes me really, really happy, and I really love it for that. Who is your inspiration? So one of my earliest inspirations, as I already mentioned, has definitely been Lovely Lore. Her videos really inspired me and taught me about the fashion, and thanks to her I didn't feel lost and like I didn't know where to start, how to buy things, how to coordinate things, etc. I will always definitely be grateful to her for making those videos, and many other Lolita fashion YouTubers out there who take the time to create this content and share it with other people. I think that is really amazing and important, especially since this community is so global and there are many people who are like the only one or two or three Lolitas in their entire town, and they can turn to this content to feel like they're not alone, like they're part of a larger community, and I think that's really important. And in addition to Laura, there are several other people who are really amazing and inspiring to me, and I feel lucky to have found them, and among them is Chichiri, whom I actually have the fortune of considering my friend. She is amazing. I met her last year, and she is really nice and kind and a great person, and she has amazing style. And the other person is Agnes from Bows Before Boys. Her style is incredible. I fell in love with her Instagram account as soon as I found it. She is so great. Her style is quite different from mine. She is the over-the-top, crazy, sweet queen that is amazing. And I really like their styles, and I think they're amazing people, and I look up to them. So those are only a few of the many, many wonderful and talented and amazing people that I've met throughout these only year and a half that I've been active in this style, and I'm really excited about all the other people I will get to meet in the future. Something beginners should think about. It's expensive. Boy, is Lolita expensive. Yes, there are cheaper options. Yes, it's possible to be a Lolita on a budget. There are sales and secondhand sales and great bargains that you can find out there. But overall, if you want to wear it and have a full and functioning wardrobe, it's not going to be cheap. So definitely learn to budget yourself and plan your budget and save up for the future, and don't just grab every single thing you find and happen to like because you just can afford it at the time, because in a week or two or a month you'll see another thing that you really like and you won't have money at the time to buy it, and it's gonna be just a cycle. So yeah, be prepared to spend and spend a lot, but if you really like it and if it makes you happy, then I think it's worth it. Just be aware that it's gonna take some effort and patience and planning and being smart with your money. But for me personally, I think it's completely worth it. And also another important thing is don't be afraid to reach out to people and put yourself out there. If you're going to come to meetups and then sit in a corner and stare at everyone and not talk to anybody, nobody's gonna know how to approach you and how to become friends with you, because people already know each other in this group, so they will be less motivated to come and introduce themselves to you. So be sure to put your best foot forward and approach people with friendliness and honesty, and I'm sure that they will respond to that, and you will find the people that you will become really good friends with. And I think that really means a lot, be it in your town or somewhere in a town nearby or halfway across the globe. You will find really good friends and you'll have a great time talking to them or hanging out with them if that will be a possibility. But don't be afraid to open up to people, because otherwise you might miss out on some really good friendships. What are your future plans with Lolita? I actually have a lot of really exciting plans this year. Last year I focused more on building my wardrobe and buying more main pieces and accessories and builder items, and this year I decided that I want to spend a lot less money on buying things, especially expensive main pieces, and spend more money on traveling and attending Lolita events and socializing and meeting new people. So I'm really excited actually for the second half of this year. In September, I will be going to HelloCon in Helsinki, and I'm super duper extra excited about that because the guest of honor will be Mana himself, and how much more exciting can you get about an event with a guest like that? I don't know. I'm super jazzed about this plan, even though I will be going for only one day, but I'm still really hyped about it. Then later in September I'm going to be returning to Gothic Lolita Festival in Moscow. I had an amazing time last year. I still really want to finish and post my video blog about it because it was an amazing trip and I got to meet and hang out with amazing people, and it was a really cool event. And they also have really nice guests this year from Triple Fortune and Metamorphose, so I'm really excited to go back there again. And last but not least, definitely in November I will be going to the Grand Embassy in Madrid, and I'm also really excited about that. I'm hoping to tag along with a group of friends and we'll all go together, and I'm just excited to travel again and see different countries. I've never been to Spain yet, so yeah, I'm just really excited to go to these countries and hang out at these awesome events. So that was my video. Thank you for watching. If you like it, please let me know. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, all that stuff. If you like this tag, I will list all of the questions in the description so you can do it yourself. It's kind of an old idea, but I still think it's a really good one, and I really wanted to do it, so I'm glad that I did. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. My next video actually will be a big Lolita fashion unboxing. It's kind of a long one, so brace yourselves, and I'm sorry in advance. And after that, I'm planning a really exciting storytime vlog video about a recent convention that I'm working on right now. So stay tuned and have a nice day. Bye bye. Okay. What? Am I weird? Are you going to lie down? Are you going to get cat hair all over me? No? Ooh, slippery. Okay, lie down. Lie down. Okay. If you don't mind, I'm gonna continue.